a huge cut. Porn has conditioned young men that they can have it all.
Stop. While I completely agree that pornography is an issue, it's kind of its own problem, number one. And kind of in regards to like young men not being able to have relationships with women or strong, good relationships with women, it seems more of a symptom of a problem than like the actual cause of it. I think there is certainly a case to be made that pornography or pornographic images, and you could even say Instagram influencer and TikTok women's, extravagant beauty, or at least well above average beauty, definitely can condition young men into thinking that like there are more attractive women in the world than there really are, or that like these types of women are more obtainable and that these women should be sought after. I think there's certainly an argument there, but I don't think it's the major issue with as to why young men are having a tough time being able to date women and have good, strong, meaningful relationships with them. It's an issue. Don't think it's the cause of this one. In fact, most people who are into pornography usually are doing so in absence of having a woman, not using pornography to replace a woman that they have clear access to, if you guys get what I mean. So
that you don't need to put in the work into your looks, your money, your lifestyle.
So out of curiosity, why is not honor, virtue, and compassion like the important things we should be working on? Like why is it? You ever notice that the only thing that you as a male should work on are just things that women want from you, and not good qualities that you should have personally for yourself? So when you actually have relationships with women, and not just women but other people, that they're good, strong relationships that you enjoy being in. Am I the only one who noticed that?
You just hop on your favorite website, find millions of girls who want to you straight away. And so we need to recalibrate our minds.
I concur. We most certainly do need to recalibrate our minds, but again, the grand issue here isn't that men think that there's a huge wealth or abundance of women who are so beautiful and attractive that they don't want to settle down. In fact, that seems to be more often the issue with young ladies than young men. So your initial premise here doesn't really seem to be matching up with the conundrum that young men are facing. But it's also not the most important aspect of this video, so let's just move on.
Because you have to understand, as a young man, you're not really supposed to be attracting women right now.
Because you're not at your most useful. I'm going to predict that that's probably the reason why.
You're young and women date upwards. And as men, it's usually easier for us to date a girl who's a few years younger than us. Because let's say when you're 16 years old and there's a 16-year-old girl in your class who you're attracted to, well, the chances are that she likes a 17 or an 18-year-old guy. Why? Well, think about what our attractiveness is based on. It's confidence, looks, gym, money, status, lifestyle. And
basically, it's all just a bunch of things that just kind of like benefit her and make her feel better about herself. Like, women aren't really attracted to you because like they think you'll be an excellent father to their children. Their mind is next to never focused on like actually like having children in a family and like actually having good relationships. They're just kind of only, it seems basically we only codify women as basically long-term prostitutes, because seems to be the only thing we really focus on here.
all of those things come with time. And so the 18-year-old that your princess likes probably drives a car, has a better life than you, has probably got more muscle from the gym than you, probably has more money than you, more social and sexual experiences, and he's all around just more confidence. And
so basically that 18-year-old is just far more useful than you are. It's just kind of really the long and short of that.
This shouldn't depress you. It should give you hope.
I mean, yeah, I guess the hope is that if I do well enough in life, I can just kind of like purchase a woman, basically, right? Just basically buy them, actually having a friendship with the woman and trying to, have a coherent relationship and like family unit with her it's not really our objective here, as I can clearly tell.
Dating is supposed to take time for men. And so how do you actually get girls? Do your thing and let them come. Focus on building your life first. Focus entirely on hitting these 6 milestones, and you'll find that women will naturally enter your life without much effort from you.
Yeah, because then you'll be useful and they'll come to take your stuff. They won't actually come because they like you as a person. Like, you as a person is irrelevant. You'll have focused so much on like obtaining a bunch of wealthy items to attract the women that you never really stop to consider, why were you ever trying to attract all these women to begin with? Because that seems to be the real question here, right, young men? Why do all of this stuff to attract women to start with? Why do you want a woman in your life? I know it's to make you feel better about yourself. I get it. It's the social proof. It's so other people think that you look cool. I get it. It's all for your self-esteem. You just want to be validated by society. I would encourage that maybe you should reconsider spending a huge chunk of your life just so people like you. I would suggest that, at least.
1. Go to the gym, lift weights, build muscle. Okay, you could be exercising for sport, fantastic, but specifically, you need to be building an aesthetic, muscular body.
You know, I just really am not a fan of this. Like, I really have quite the disdain for people exercising for like aesthetic reasons. Mostly because like the muscle you build or the muscle you gain isn't really at its fullest potential. It's not really the most functional or the most, optimal. I understand like why people do it. It's obviously so people like them, like they want the validation, but I feel like exercising and increasing your physical strength should be a little bit more for yourself, more for your own like physical protection. Like you should actually study martial arts, hand-to-hand combat, how to handle guns and weapons. I'm not saying like you study the way of the sword, but you should be able to like, and we're in the 21st century, you should be able to handle a gun or firearm, you should be able to know hand-to-hand combat techniques. You should be able to protect yourself and defend yourself. And if not that, you should be, have enough awareness to be able to like just run quickly away from danger as well. Some people might call you a coward, but it's if you take the path to Starscream, you'll probably live a lot longer, right? I think there's more important things when it comes to increasing your physical strength and abilities than just being aesthetically pleasing to particularly women. And the reason why is a very important reason why is because if you spend your life doing a lot of stuff so other people give you validation, if you don't receive that validation, you'll find yourself feeling worse than you did before. But more importantly than that, you're gonna find yourself becoming reliant on that validation. And a lot of really pretty women understand this reality. And a lot of young men don't get that because they haven't been fueled by that light form of narcissism. But like a lot of women who are really beautiful are so insecure because they need the affirmation of lots of other people. They can't validate themselves, so they need other people. And I don't want you as a young man to get caught in that trap. Hamza's right. You should exercise. Anyone that tells you that you should exercise, but you should exercise so your life is easier. You should do it for yourself. You need that physical strength to make your life easier. You don't do it because you want people to like you. You do it because you want to like you and you want to live an easier life. And I'm not saying this, again, like I love exercising. I love working out. I literally have several different exercising tools that I love using. I've even been so crazy as to try to create like my own exercising like routine and like try to like figure out different ways to like increase my physical strength like functionally. Like I've literally written notes about this stuff and like tried to figure out an exercising method that could work. I even start writing on my blog. I didn't finish this idea because it takes a lot of research. But again, I'm not saying you don't exercise. What I am saying is you never exercise for aesthetics. You don't do it just so girls like you. That's the absolute last reason why you should ever pick up a weight. You should do so because you need the physical strength. You need the cardiovascular strength. You need physical strength so your life is easier, not so women like you. That's what I'm saying.
A good career or business. Now, this potentially could mean studying and getting a degree. It could mean becoming an entrepreneur and trying some business ideas.
Well, shoot, why didn't I think of that? Just start a whole business with like no product, no idea on how to do marketing. I'll just become an entrepreneur. All just so at some point women like me.
Have a vibrant social circle, and this is probably one of the most important milestones for young men to actually get some girls, because if you come home from school and you spend your entire time like a dumbass watching my videos and just like sat there on your crusty computer chair eating your food whilst on your computer, you're not going to attract girls because girls won't want to enter your life. They want to enter the life of a man who's actually having fun. Of course they do.
Yes, my brothers, you must learn and understand one very important fact about young ladies, apparently, and that is they need you to entertain them because they themselves aren't entertaining people. Which, when you really put some thought to it, kind of makes women look really shallow and kind of like miserable. If the reason why they need men is so they themselves get entertained, like they can't read books, they can't watch movies, they can't create their own stuff, they have to be entertained by men. It kind of makes women look really pathetic in certain areas, but that kind of goes beyond the scope of this video. I think again, like, You guys do understand that you're just kind of building yourself up to be an entertainer to women, not like a protector or leader or someone like who could potentially be a good father to children. But I mean, most of you guys aren't concerned with that stuff. You just want women to like you so your wee-wee gets wet. I know, I understand, I get you.
Like, what date could you even take her out on if all you do is come home and go on your computer?
Library, walk in the park, picnic, take her to the dog park, actually. That could work. You can even go to Dave & Buster's. Yeah, you could do that. You can even take a woman out to the zoo if you really want. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
And a vibrant social circle is just so important for your own life and your own development. And having friends that you can rely on, you can all like lift weights together and go to parties together. The fourth thing you should work on is confidence. And confidence is kind of like a weird concept that we all want it, but we don't really know exactly what it is or how to get it.
I think it's because people are stupid. I mean, like, confidence is just your assurance or self-assurance or an ability or skill that you have. Like, if you don't really know what confidence is, it's because you didn't open a dictionary, or you don't pay attention to the way people use the word. Like, I'm confident I can go to this area. I'm confident that it's this way. I am self-assured. I know, I believe that this is right. Confidence is a belief that what you're doing is right. I made a whole video about it. I mean, just go check it out if you guys haven't already.
It's literally a skill that you can level up. And the way that we level up skills is that we literally just go search online for books or methods on that skill. We read the book, we learn about how to like improve your confidence, we go out there and practice, and it's a bit awkward, but we get better and better over time. The confidence gap is...
Well, I mean, there you go. I don't understand why you treated it like it was some mystical knowledge that we don't understand. It's a perfectly serviceable breakdown. You improve a skill, and once you improve that skill, you gain the knowledge or the self-assurance that you can perform the action. It's pretty simple. I don't know why you acted like it wasn't.
Fifth and very important milestone to focus on, instead of focusing on girls, focus on this, is to make sure that you have no mental health issues. That's social anxiety and depression. So many young guys have like way bigger problems than a lack of girls in their lives. They've literally got depression, they've got anxiety, but they focus on the wrong thing. Honestly, it sounds horrible, but depression makes you ugly. Anxiety makes you ugly. It's just how it works. You could be like an attractive guy, but if you have anxiety, you're not going to end up showing yourself to the real world. If you truly have depression right now and you're not trying to solve it in any way, you're not getting therapy for it, or you're not at least like doing some healthy practices like eating right and exercise and sleeping more, then you're going to be literally just a downer to be around. And I know that this sounds quite insensitive, but this is coming from someone who had pretty severe anxiety, and I can't believe that people wanted to, like, some people stayed around me.
I mean, maybe some people stayed around you because they liked your character and they liked you as a person. So maybe that might be, maybe that's why I'm sensing some self-doubt in you, my man, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I mean, bearing in mind, I'm not making this video response because I have any disdain for you at all, Hamza. I'm just saying that, like, being motivated for the desire of women is not a good motivator. Like, being motivated by righteousness should be what we as young men should strive for. But again, like, maybe people hung around you because they liked you as a person. It's possible.
It was so common for a girl and even like guys to get around me, notice that, you know, there's something wrong with me. I'm anxious all the time. I'm uncomfortable about stuff. And then they just slowly like start like, you know, getting away from it, because you don't really want to be around someone like that.
I will say, to his point, it is certainly aggravating and depressing and saddening and frustrating to be around people who are depressed. As an individual has spent a lot of time talking to women, and the women deal with, like, it seems to be pretty general that a lot of women deal with, like, depression, low self-esteem, anxiety. It is aggravating to deal with those people. I get it. He isn't wrong here, that you should work on it and you should focus on trying to fix it. But again, the motivating factor should never be, I need to not be depressed so women like me. You should not be depressed so you enjoy life. So you're not miserable. So you're not terrified of, like, existence. That's why you should do it. Your own sake should be the strongest motivator, not women liking you. Because I'm going to tell you once again, trying to do anything to get women to like you is only going to lead you to disappointment.
And the sixth milestone to work on is to learn some game, some pickup, and some red pill fundamentals. You can definitely overdo it with this one. You can become like a full-on red pill degenerate, full-on like pickup artist who goes day gaming and shit. But just reading maybe a couple of the books, watching a couple of the YouTube videos, but like keep like a distance from this community. You don't want to get like too like drawn into it like I did.
Yeah, I think the very last thing any of you guys would want to do is end up like a red pill content creator who spends a lot of his time talking about how women are sucky, terrible, unloyal creatures who who honestly, when you stop and listen to it, you kind of start wondering why you even want to interact with women. Like, I mean, like, if you really listen to a lot of red pill content, I've made numerous videos where I talk about this, but it's like, eventually it kind of gets to a point where it's like, okay, if women are so hypergamous and disloyal and so aggravating, and in certain regards just downright evil, why do we want them? Why do we try to talk to them? Why do we try to become useful to them? Why do we fight so hard for like the most awful, contemptuous group of individuals who scourge our lives? Because I mean, honestly, if you listen to red pill content, and I mean like really listen to it, you're not gonna walk away with thinking that you should have women in your life. In fact, now that I really think about it, the more I think about it, the more I'm like, I think we'd all be better off if we were legitimately like MGTOW and just like went off the grid and not talk to these harpies, because red pill content will really get to you if you take it to heart. Hamza has a point here. But he's also kind of missing the fact that like literally everything he just described here is still just kind of the same red pill rhetoric of becoming useful to women so they select you. So
You don't want to dive deep into it. But if you can understand some of the fundamentals of game and red pill, for example, push and pull, and demonstrating high value, that'll be very, very helpful for you.
I mean, yeah. Or alternatively, you could crack open the Holy Bible, read the words of Jesus Christ, focus on becoming a stronger, more honorable, kind-hearted individual. And instead of trying to demonstrate high value and high monetary gain and usefulness, you actually focus on being a good man who is righteous and loving. So that way, when you actually end up in a relationship with a woman, it's not a prostitute. It's someone that can actually be a mother to your children. Maybe?
These are things that normal, healthy men do just naturally. But us cave dwellers on our internet and, our technology and shit, we kind of forgotten how to do it.
Sure, I guess. Here's the thing. Which again, I would love to kind of impart to you as young men of just how, like, important you guys are. And you guys are important. Like, make no mistake. Like, as men, I know you guys don't feel it. There's a long time I didn't feel it. But men are very important. And this is kind of like one of the biggest reasons why like fathers are certain necessary, and you should never believe that like you're not necessary for your children's development. Because this is what like fathers are supposed to do. Like fathers are supposed to impart such knowledge so that this stuff doesn't have to come naturally. This stuff comes from a man who loves you and gives you the knowledge and gives you the ability to fight through these battles. Like the whole reason, one of the reasons that I think a lot of people miss as to why humans are able to be so great and conquer the world is because we have such a long developmental cycle with people that help us out psychologically. And not just through our ability to create strong social networks and utilize tools, but it's to be able to take knowledge previously had by others and to give it to us again. And then one of the best things about us as humans is we can take that prior knowledge, see what works, see what doesn't work, make improvements, and then hand it off to the next person. In fact, interestingly enough, if you look at the way technology has like spiraled like recently, like in the last 10 years, like every year, there's a lot of like great improvements in like computer performance. I study a lot of computers sometimes because I like laptops and stuff. Like you can literally see like just leaps and bounds and jumps between the generations of different CPU processors. Why? Because they're taking our knowledge from the previous generation, which I guess generation being 1 year, but whatever. And then they're just improving upon it and just making it and sharpening it and making it work. That's what having a parent is all about. That's what having a man and struggling in life is all about. Taking this wisdom, giving it to your son so he doesn't have to deal with this nonsense that you dealt with. That's why you're so important as a man, or at least one of the very important reasons why. So hopefully you guys get that out of this video. If you get nothing else, hopefully you get that. There's a little bit more to Hamza's video, but I'm going to end it here because, I've kind of got the main points and arguments out of the way. I want to be clear here. It's not necessarily this video is about how none of this stuff will work towards attracting women. It's just that the type of women you're going to attract are going to be crappy people. And also, your main motivator in trying to improve yourself should never be so women like you. I have gone down that path before when I was in high school, where I focused a lot on trying to become attractive to women. And even though sometimes it just didn't even work, it just didn't even make them more attractive, and I just felt worse than I had already did before. And that's something I want you as young men to never have to go through. And I mean, maybe I can't stop you, I'm just some nigga on the internet, but I want to give you that type of wisdom so you guys understand you can't be motivated by women liking you, because if you don't get that validation, it's gonna make you feel worse. And even if you do get that validation, you're not getting it from women who are kind. You're not getting it from women who are sweet and feminine. You're not getting it from women who are loving and who actually really want you to do better in life. You're getting it from women that want to take your stuff. You're getting it from women that want to be validated by your presence, or be validated by your emotionality, be validated by your things. You don't want to be a tool to be used by a woman. You're more important than that. And you as a man have to understand that you're more important than that, and to not give your life energy and stuff to women of this caliber, because all of these things are only ever going to attract women who are not of a strong, good, healthy, feminine caliber. It's just not. You're just going to get a bunch of prostitutes. It's going to make you think that women just in generally just function off of prostitute mentality or prostitute, mindsets. And here's the thing. A lot of the way like women are being trained or conditioned is like light form of prostitutes. I've commented upon this before, and it's not lost on me that this is the way a lot of women are going. But I think as men, it's time we kind of put our foot down and stop being followers of what women want and start being leaders in challenging this nonsense and saying, listen, fam, we're not going to become your workhorse. We are more important than that. We're better than that. And you as women need to learn and accept that. We need to be leaders, actual leaders, instead of just following women and just pretending that we're the dominant sex, when really we're actually just capitulating to their whims and desires. Like, did you guys not ever notice that? You guys never realize that all you've done is just become what women want? It's not being a leader. That's called being a follower. You're following behind what women are selecting. So we have to get better. We have to be better than that. You're more important than that as a man. And I want you guys to walk away with that knowledge and that understanding. Again, Hamza isn't technically wrong so much far as like all of this is good stuff to do, or at least attempt to do, especially like having good friends in your life. And attaining confidence is something you need to do anything that you want in life. This isn't bad stuff, but you have to remember what motivates you, the soul, what moves you, your very soul, your essence there should not be female validation, and it should not be attracting girls. You need to be finding a wife to have a family with. Your mind needs to be geared towards what are the qualities that make a good wife, and seeking that out, and what's going to attract that type of woman. Because otherwise, you're just going to be used, and you're just going to be with a prostitute for a really friggin' long time, and it's not going to make you happy. It might make you happy for 25 minutes when you get to have sex, but existentially, it's going to make you miserable, and I don't want you guys to go through that. So with that being said, I actually hope you guys got something out of today's video. I highly doubt you did. But if you did, go ahead and click the like button. And shoot, go and click that subscribe button. Comment in the comments below. As always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.